There are many, many appeals by scientists and doctors on this issue calling for a halt to 5G. I'll quote the 5G appeal to the European Union. 5G will substantially increase exposure to radio frequency electromagnetic fields, RF-EMF, radio frequency radiation electromagnetic fields, that has been proven harmful for humans and the environment. And you can go to their website at 5gappeal.eu and click on the appeal, see the signatories, and learn more about that. The EMF scientist appeal is also online by scientists who have published in the field and are calling for urgent reductions in exposure. This is an image from a published paper published in Environmental Research that was about how these new cell towers, these small cells, they're placed closer to people, people's bodies, people's heads, than antennas have ever been placed before, resulting in highly elevated exposure levels. Now, what you see here is the Wheaton High School right near me in Maryland. And this is a school, and this is a cell tower right there, right up against the school. Completely legal. Whereas in many communities, you're not allowed to do that. And the Los Angeles, California School District, Palo Alto School District, Westland, Wilsonville, Oregon School Board prohibits cell towers on school property or have resolutions opposed to cell towers to the school. Montgomery County, Maryland now does not have cell towers, no longer will allow cell towers on elementary schools, though they still are sort of having towers proposed for our high schools and middle schools, which is unacceptable. The Prince George's County, Maryland School Board decided not to renew their cell tower master leasing agreement that would have allowed over 60 schools to be marketed as cell tower sites. And Portland, Oregon schools ended allowing more leases for cell towers. All of this happened with parents and teachers that got organized and worked to address this issue. And I'll note that in Los Angeles, they actually have many people don't know about this, but it very much exists, a cautionary level for radio frequency radiation, where they say they try to keep it at below 10,000 times lower than FCC limits. Below 10,000 times lower than FCC limits. They don't follow that completely, but they do say that. And it just highlights how absolutely outrageous our current FCC limits are. This is a picture sent to me of a playground with a cell tower right near it. Whereas in many communities where people are waking up to this, they're working to ensure setbacks for homes and schools for these 5G, 4G facilities. And remember, 5G is going to have more small cells in residential areas, as well as more macro towers to tie it all together, as well as all these devices. So we have all these setbacks that communities have been putting forward: 1,000 feet, 500 feet, 300 feet, and San Diego. And in Washington, D.C., of course, there's no representation. 10 feet. 10 feet is the setback for cell antennas from buildings and home structures. 30 feet in my community. Despite incredible efforts by thousands of people, the city council, as happens across the country, completely ignored the science, ignored people, ignored the drop in property values that would happen, and set an egregious setback of 30 feet. Unacceptable. In many other communities, Shelburne, Massachusetts, 1,500 feet for cell towers. Walnut, California, 1,500 feet. Palo Alto, 1,500 feet for schools. Bar Harbor, Maine, 1,500 feet, and so forth. Many of these more protective ordinances are being attacked by industry with lawsuits, and that is a whole situation. Please join Environmental Health Trust, get on our newsletter to stay up to date. Find your local group. Every state at this point has a group working on smart meters or cell towers or 5G or safe technology. Find a group, join the group and get updated on what's happening in your community. When people have organized, they've had resolutions to halt 5G, like Key, New Hampshire. They passed a resolution. Hawaii County, Hawaii, Easton, Connecticut, Farragut City, Tennessee. But what happened in Keene, New Hampshire after they passed it? Industry came in, threatened, legal threats, and they had to reverse that resolution to halt 5G. But now they're working on a wireless ordinance that is protective. And there are many resolutions: Hallandale Beach, Florida; Coconut Creek, Florida; Carmel City, Indiana; Bend, Oregon; Ulster County, New York. You can go to Environmental Health Trust. We have a list of, under the 5G, under key issues, we have a tab on 5G. You can go to local ordinances and get links to all of these and learn what other people are doing in other communities. So we need healthy and sustainable technology. What will be the impact of 5G in our current wireless, the road we're on with wireless? What will be the impact to the earth? What will be the impact to human health, wildlife, the environment? Well, there's also increased energy consumption from all of these devices. The 5G cell towers, we're going to pepper our entire landscape with these new facilities. They all use energy. Also, all the devices you charge, that uses energy. Report after report has shown that the current rate of energy consumption is only going to increase with all of these new technology we're using. Plus, there's damage to trees, harm to wildlife, human rights abuses in the mining of the minerals used in the devices, and the pollution from the manufacturing, not to mention the worker impacts, the way workers are treated in other countries, in China and Korea, and many countries, it's abuse. It's human rights abuses. And Apple and so forth, they claim they're working on it, but it's very challenging. Well, they say it's very challenging because there's all of these contracting being done, and they can't address they don't know everything that's going on. Well, this could be fixed. And there have been laws put forward to address the human rights abuses, and the companies are not accountable at this point. We do not have strong enough regulations to address this. Plus, there's inadequate recycling. There's this growing mountain of e-waste from all of these devices. And we need to start thinking about the trajectory we're on, and we have to pivot to healthy and safe, sustainable technology.